So this morning, I want to talk about wellness for children. Well-being isn't just for grown-ups, just so you know. Physical, mental, emotional, and social health are all equally important and contribute to our well-being. And most of the time, we talk about this thing for adults. How about children? Let's have that conversation with Ezieha Bolaji-Olojo, who is a certified health coach in terms of mindset and habits. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aya. Hello, Lady Alera. It's good to be here.
Lady Alera.
Yes. And Mr. Aya, I have to talk about your daughter. She's my wellness champion. Daddy!
No junk food.
You should have seen her face.
Yes.
She sat down.
Come on.
She was recovering. Daddy, no junk food.
Love it.
I mean, and I didn't think I'd ever know a child who would refuse a pizza. I didn't think so. Well, I'm glad to say I know her. I know, and I'm proud of her.
Yes.
So, wellness for children, do we take it for granted?
I hope we don't, because things are getting really, really bad. And at this point, you know,
They are getting.
they're progressing to really worse states at an alarming rate.
Why is that?
First, I love what you said, how that you didn't expect that a child would reject junk food. What's happening now is we're creating more awareness. It really was a lack of awareness and even ignorance. I feel like sometimes when it comes to feeding our children, we just think that the more we indulge them, the better parents we are. Somehow, because even I, as a parent, as I started to have children, there were just some certain foods that were not the healthiest, but they were the norm. That it just looked like, of course, as we grow up, we give them sausages. It's just normal. How do we show that we love our children? We give them pizza. But now there's global awareness. The big bodies are shouting because there's actually a global health crisis that's affecting children. If we don't do something now, the future, and we're talking about it with Mr. Kingsley, the future would really be at stake. So now everybody wants the future to be healthy. So there's all of the awareness that's coming up now. And I think I don't know that many people can claim ignorance now. Yes, we have people in the poorly developed area that don't know yet and are actually suffering from malnutrition. But a lot more people in this area we are now suffering from overnutrition. Overnutrition.
Leading to obesity?
Leading to obesity, type 2 diabetes. I didn't even know, I learned recently, yes, type 2 diabetes with children.
Children.
And you know type 2 diabetes is diet-induced. It's diet, because the type 1 diabetes could be genetic, but type 2 has to do with the diet. So if you go to the hospitals now, children are presenting with the health conditions that were not available before.
Children what age?
Children from 2, even young, yes, even younger than 2. I've heard, there's some stories that actually we shouldn't even share now, but I've heard, yes, just because of my practice as a wellness coach, you hear some stories and you are legitimately shocked at what is happening. You were honestly, truly angered when Mr. Kingsley was speaking. There's stories you hear about children. That's a direct impact of what they're eating. And I actually wonder I know that if parents know better, they will do better. So we're making a lot of noise now that we literally have to save our children because the future is not looking good at all.
So on the one hand is what I know that you will call junk pandemic.
Junk pandemic.
On the other hand is that we seem to be turning that and we rescue them from junk and we give them another junk.
What's that?
Technology. So where's the balance?
Okay, I love that you said that because I was going to mention when Lady Alera spoke about children not needing exercise because they exercise all the time. But these days, because of
technology,
they're
sitting down.
They're sitting down a lot. And then even in school.
And hanging their necks.
Yes. So There's actually a condition for that, but let's not go there. Where you literally are always
We were
like
always
this.
outdoors.
Yes, we were always
Playing.
outdoors. But now, of course, there's even the security issues. How many children know their neighbors when they live in compounds that have neighbors? Because we don't want them playing outside again. In schools these days, sometimes even recess, they spend it in class. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know, for whatever reason, it happens.
So we look forward to recess, to go out and play, skip rope.
We can't wait for the teacher to get out so that we can observe short breaks.
Yes,
Please.
and even when you got home, you would still go out and play in the streets, roll the tires and all that. But children are not having a lot of that these days because of technology. So really, the solution is with the parents. Sometimes we just need a lot more intentionality. Realize, and if we educate ourselves, you see the statistics on what technology is doing to children, reduced lifespan, where they're becoming antisocial because they have a better relationship with the screen than with real people. And I don't want to talk about adults because some adults have that, but we can literally teach the children from now.
We can't take them. Okay, go.
So are you therefore saying that we should have a timetable for them and specify what number of minutes or hours they can spend on these things?
That's absolutely beautiful. Exactly that. Exactly that. Just as we have junk-free days, because we can have junk-free days when we talk about wellness, we can also have screen-free days. I remember growing up, my sister got married way ahead of me, and then for her children, I didn't even know at the time, but she would say, you don't watch TV at all during the week. And then weekend, you get some time to watch TV. And children love routines. They actually do. Just the predictability would help. So you can let them know that, no, you don't just pick mommy's phone. And it's amazing that a child would pick a phone and can operate it.
Yes.
I don't even understand that. So you let them know, regulate it. And sometimes you even want to make it, that's debatable, but sometimes it could be like a reward for something you have done right. You've done your chores, and then you earn 30 minutes of screen time. And please, it has to be regulated. You must watch what they're doing. And where possible, just send them outside. That's one of nature's 7 doctors. Exercise in sunshine. So we should take it. Yes, in sunshine. Sunshine is air. Air is literally a doctor. So if you're on the screen, indoors, AC all the time, goodness, we're affecting the mental health, the physical health, and the overall wellness of the child.
How much time is adequate for a child to be on a screen per day?
I don't think that children should be on the screen every day, except they're learning, which can be controlled in a school environment, or they're doing assignments, because, of course, we love it. Our children are very tech savvy. They're doing their assignments on the computers. However, when it comes to leisure, the jury's out. We don't have any official figures, but I truly don't think that the child should be on the screen every day. However, the days when they are supposed to be on the screen, 30 minutes is actually ideal for a child that's aware.
Is that all?
Aware. Yes, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
You know,
sorry, my screen report sometimes says that I've been on the screen about 6 hours every day. And
no, that's nice. It will also tell you X number of hours on this particular app.
Yes.
You haven't even read the report.
And I'm
you
wondering,
just read the results.
I didn't think I spent 6 hours.
Oh, no.
And that's it, because it's addictive. You don't even know how much time, which is why it's dangerous to just leave the phone with a child. It's convenient, but it's dangerous.
You know, now, so what are the implications of that? Years ago, this is 2024, I think, before 2015, I had to sit my kids down at some point and say, I actually Googled it. Effect of screen on health. Number 1, or among others, it dulls the brain.
It dulls the brain.
It dulls the brain.
Oh.
And
oh dear.
We didn't know. It was just fun to just sit in the front of the and gawk.
Gawk is the word.
Just be looking at it like that. Do you think parents know the implications? Now, you said something about the convenience of it. The convenience of it because mommy is busy, daddy is not at work, and you just need something to lock this child down.
Yeah.
So that you can do other things. But I don't know how many parents understand the risk So what else can the parents do to lock this child down? And because I'm sure you saw the video.
Okay.
The woman was busy eating, whether it was mango or whatever, and the children were screaming, oh, she was calm. The moment the children kept quiet, she panicked. So what are the options for parents?
I'm going to take a cue from you, Mr. Ayo. You know, you said you sat with your children and you Googled it. And when you saw the impact, the results, you started to make changes at home. It's the same way. You want to Google non-screen activities for children.
That will help them to keep quiet.
Honestly, you know, my children, because I remember we were in Dubai for vacation and I realized that I couldn't keep my children calm in public, in trains and all of that without the screen. I was so embarrassed. Once I came home, I took away I didn't even go gradually. I took away every screen. And first of all, children should be bored. Boredom would spark their creativity because we always feel like we must stimulate them. They must be doing something. And you are not Disneyland. Your home is not Disneyland. They don't have to always be doing something. So it's okay for them to be bored. It sparks their creativity. Lady Alero, do you know what my children started to play with? Pegs. Pegs. They will take pegs. Now, if I'm going shopping, they'll be like, Mommy, please. They will send me pictures of the kind of pegs they want because it can stand and they can build like Legos. Literally, my children will play with pegs. Till today, they still create a lot of fun doing that. But how did that come? How did that creativity come? From them being bored.
Screenless.
Bored. They came up with boom. Actually, that's another impact of too much screen time. We're losing out on the creativity that could have been unleashed from our children. It's convenient, but it's really not helping anyone. So I'll give you a challenge. Sit with your children this week. This Children's Day. Our children are at home this Children's Day. Challenge them, and they love a good challenge. The children. Mr. Ayo.
I'm just saying.
The children can sit down. That's a good screen time activity. Just for that, sit down and figure out what are the other ways we can play that would stimulate our minds without the screen.
Now, let me also give you another challenge. How many parents, especially fathers, are able to sit their kids down and have any kind of conversation?
Ooh.
I believe
when
that
it's dad, it's something very serious. Most likely, I have offended. That's why dad wants to have a discussion with me.
That's not nice.
So when I'm going for that discussion, already my heart is pounding. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done?
No,
Am I correct?
I said especially.
You are correct in your own right.
In my own, in my time.
Your own local government.
In my time.
Okay.
So,
dad didn't have a discussion with you except it was something very serious.
In other words, mom is expected to be...
Mom is their friend.
Mom. I'm sorry. Don't send me away. Okay. So, Mr. Ayo, I believe that we make time for what is important to us. I truly believe that. Plus, let's even take away, we don't have to spend 2 hours every day with our children. Even that 10-minute activity. So far, it's done consistently. It works. There's something we do at home, and I'm happy to share here. We call it the How Was Your Day Challenge. It doesn't take a long time. We just all sit down, and everybody stands on one fake podium like that. And we're like, how was your day? And the child says, okay, when I woke up, I did this. Then in school today, this one happened. And for them, it's a major highlight of the day. And it probably took us 10, 15 minutes before they go to bed. So we don't need 2 hours. We can't even afford 2 hours, most of us. But if you decide to flip the script and do the easier option, 20 minutes today, even 5 minutes today. And once you start to do that, you desire it more, that somehow time would be created for it, and you're bonding better with your children. And you know, today, the society is really crazy. You need, your children need to be on your side. You need to be on your children's side. They need to be your friends before someone out there tells them what they should not hear.
Yeah. Let's go back to technology. It's one thing to create the schedule and everything. It's another thing to create safeguards.
No. Yes.
You see, you said something about children navigating their way around technology. I think it was in the early 2000s. There was this Nokia phone that we bought. It was the mom's phone. No, then in those days there were buttons on the.
Yeah.
No button. The mother, owner of the phone, was still trying to figure out how to open the phone.
No.
The child was about 5 years old. Okay, yeah, take. Let's see if you'll be able to do anything with it. And the two mother and father were just driving. Next thing they were just saying, pling, pling, pling.
What?
Child was already on the games page, playing the game on the
They
phone.
can always navigate to where the games are.
That's amazing.
Point I'm trying to make is that parents, they are not natives of technology. They are, what do we call them? They are travelers.
Okay.
They traveled into technology. The children were born into it. How do parents who don't know technology monitor technology among their
those who are the
those who are
natives?
the digital natives?
Okay. First of all, you're going to have to learn. It's not rocket science. There's something called parental control. So if, for example, you're giving your child a phone, and of course, you need to be at a certain age and be using it for something really beneficial. If you're giving your child a phone, you can actually see everything that your child is doing on the phone if you have that feature. And it's not rocket science. You can go to someone who is a digital native to teach you to, and then you can monitor what's happening with the child. Also, please, you have to know your children's passwords. When you have to know it, so you can check their social media accounts, you can check what's happening. I mean, of course, you want to knock before you enter their room, but you must have access into their rooms too, so you know what's happening. So if you're able to get this parental control feature, you're able to see what's happening.
How old is this child whose bedroom door I'm knocking to get in? just asking. How old is he?
I think we should knock once the child gets aware. Yeah, it's just, it's not so much that you're saying, oh, I don't, you still
gets
have control.
aware, as
it's
in
living
what
aware,
age?
like 2. Yes, once the child is
2.
aware, you want to do that, yes. You're actually modeling something to the child.
I'm not going to knock.
You're modeling something to the child. You're telling the child, we knock before we enter spaces. We respect privacy. That's Lady Alero. Why are you doing this?
That he picking the parents.
Yes, from the moment they're aware, you want to teach them, like, hey, you're not, and all that. Yes, but what we're basically saying is parental control. And then we actually have timers that you can put.
When she comes into my room, she doesn't know.
So you have to teach her, and we do it together.
Just trace into, you don't want to sleep in my bed as well.
That's wrong. We teach her, and then she'll learn. So with parental control, you can actually also put timers that can knock you off after a certain time. Yes, you can learn it. This thing is really... If children can figure it out with a little more effort, we too can figure it out too. Yes.
Sleep.
Oh, sleep. It's one of nature's 7 doctors too. Sleep.
Oh.
Yes.
One of the...
Nature's 7 doctors.
Okay, can you just list all the 7?
I'm happy to. There's air, there's sunshine, there's water, there's sleep, there's laughter, there's good nutrition, and there's exercise.
Okay.
If you have those 7 doctors, trust me, your children won't have to
We'll come
go
to the
to the
exercise
hospital.
for children, but talk about sleep.
Sleep.
They don't want to sleep.
Really? They don't want to sleep. We just leave, if you don't want to sleep, just leave them in the room, turn off the light.
Because they probably want to go on that.
So take away that first, yes, because that's a major factor. And because it's addictive and very stimulating, even for adults, they tell us that 30 minutes to 1 hour before your bedtime, you want to wind down from every screen activity so that all of that cortisol and everything that is stimulated before you sleep can calm down.
Someone is shaking his head.
You're the person shaking your head, Mr. Ayo.
No, I'm shaking on their behalf. Like, no, forget it.
But
30 minutes. Is that... Okay. Is it well? Before you sleep.
But even children, children.
You know, when children go out to play, when they've got sun and air,
yes.
They will want to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Ayo, did you get that? That's so good. Jeez. When they've gotten air and sunshine and they've exercised, They will want to sleep.
Yes, now they'll be tired.
Who is the person that is going to give exercise to children?
Oh, parents, and then schools. Just if you have a safe environment, you can let them come out with supervision. Of course, if you have a domestic help, you can teach the domestic help, explain to them the
go and
boundaries.
play football.
Yes.
I think essentially what I've heard you say now, as we wind down on this, is to even teach children. Give them the options, because most times we don't even have time to give them the options. The only option as present is either TV or screen.
Phone.
And it's more injurious. I think that's just a fact that we all have to. I mean, you can do the simple search yourself. Impact of screen on children. I was mortified when I found out that it dulls the brain.
It does.
So if you're wondering why your kids' grades are dropping, maybe that is one of the culprits. Eziaha Bolaji Olojo, certified health coach, mindset and habit coach. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I can see the save our children and your this thing. Don't worry, we'll talk about that maybe some other time. That was the first thing she noticed, by the way.
Hi, good morning. Welcome back. It's time for us to have a really interesting conversation in the spirit of Children's Day. Eziaha Bolaji Olojo is in the building. Now, she's been named as one of the 100 most influential women in Nigeria by Leading Ladies Africa and has had a consistent feature as a writer in The Guardian Nigeria, Bella Naija, and The Ladies' Room. Today, she's here to talk about a documentary that she has put together on children. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Titi. Happy Children's Day.
Happy Children's Day. I feel like you brought out your inner child today too.
Yeah.
Is this your usual look? Let me ask that.
Yes, it's one of my usual looks.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the pigtails, the t-shirt, and the colorful. Yeah, that's your youth.
Yeah.
So it is extremely youthful.
Yes.
And childlike. Sometimes bringing out our inner child is very, very important.
Absolutely.
To help us stay younger and probably even forget the struggles of this world.
Adulting.
Exactly. As they say, adulthood can be considered a scam. That's from a song. But please talk to us about this project you're working on. It's a documentary, yes?
Yes.
All right.
So the documentary is called Save Our Children.
Okay.
And I love that it's particularly launching today because I believe that conversations around Children's Day should actually involve their health and their wellness. Why is this important? Because some of the childhood diseases that we're seeing now were not available before for children. They were not things that affected children. But now, as a result of what I like to call a junk pandemic, because there's so much junk. Children
Like
are
junk food?
Junk food, yes.
Okay.
Children are having more junk food. And what that means is that there's a global health crisis and their health is being affected. Things that didn't affect children before are affecting them now.
So I'm seeing images here. Are we talking child nutrition, child obesity? The major focus points, what are they?
Childhood obesity, type 2 diabetes, which incidentally was something that we'd see with older people, but now children are coming down with it, various cardiovascular diseases, kidney diseases, and even behavioral issues. Why? As a result of their diet. So what I'm basically saying is that we should encourage children and we should model it to them to eat healthier as opposed to junk, so that we're not just saving them for now, but together we can say the future is healthy.
The future is healthy.
Now,
the future is sort of dependent on our children and how we raise our children, how we feed them, has a lot to do with that. But you've mentioned that there is a global health crisis. Now, how are these statistics looking right now?
So not only, first of all, when it comes to statistics, especially within Nigeria, it can be a bit dicey. However, there's one thing that everyone globally is agreed on, and that is that within the next 10 years, whatever figures we have now that are already very dismal would double. So it means that if we have, for example, 10 million children, within the next 10 years, we'll be having 20 million children under 5, under 7, who are dealing with this crisis, this health crisis that could have been easily avoided if we took more emphasis on eating healthier and feeding our children healthier.
So I think we also need to define what junk food is and what healthy food is. Because a lot of us feel like, okay, so when I say okele, when I say swallows, I feel like that is a healthy meal, right? And then when I think of like meat pies and stuff like that, I think of that as junk. But there are some cultures, not in Nigeria obviously, that consider some pies and things like that as staple meals. Maybe like in Europe, in the UK, pie is a staple meal for them. What can we do to sort of define the difference so that an average parent watching now knows what they need to change?
I love this question because food is not necessarily unhealthy as a result of a name. It's actually the ingredients that make it up. So we can say burger, and we all think burger is unhealthy. But if I made my burger at home with healthy ingredients and...
Go ahead.
If I made my burger at home and I made it with healthy ingredients and I put all sorts of healthy things as the filling, the burger is now healthy.
Wow.
Yes, so they're not unhealthy just by their name. We can't just say, oh, burgers are unhealthy, meat pie is unhealthy, pizza is unhealthy. But it actually has to be what we made them from. So this is the simple rule. First, if you want to eat healthy food, you're best off preparing it from home as opposed to buying it out. Because when you buy it out, there's a lot of processing that has happened with it. But when you're cooking at home, you actually have control over what you have put on the inside of it. Another great rule of thumb would be that whatever the food looks like it looked when it came out of the farm.
Oh, okay.
It's most likely healthy. Yes.
So obviously when vegetables eventually get to our table, if they're the same color as they were when you started washing them or cleaning them or cooking them, then it's considered, you know, maybe crunchy, even tastier.
Yes.
But once it's changed color, it's no longer got all those nutrients in it?
Most times. So it's not necessarily just veggies. I'm saying that when we process food, sometimes it doesn't only change color, it changes form, it changes taste. So you're looking at it and you can't even tell what it was made of because everything has changed, which is why, to be on the safe side, you just want to prepare your food from home because we really need to save our children. The more they consume all of this junk, the more the future, not just the present, because sometimes you don't even see the impact of it now. But just because we're not seeing the impact now doesn't mean that we're not going to see it in the future.
So let's talk a bit more about this documentary. First of all, how long is the documentary and how long did it take for you to put together?
Oh my goodness. The documentary is about 25 minutes, the main documentary itself. It took us a good number of weeks and plenty nights of working together. So right in the documentary, I had to get child professionals when it comes to health. So we have
pediatrician.
Yes, we have pediatrician, we have nutritionist, now pediatric nutritionist. We have a senior consultant from Luth, who's just brilliant, who sees things that happen in the hospital, right? We also have dietitians and we have educators, because I believe that educators matter. What we teach in school and what we allow in school makes such a difference. In the documentary, we also have a mom who used food as nutrition therapy to reverse autism.
Wow.
So that's, really powerful. And then we have regular moms who are just doing right by their children, just because, not necessarily that there's a problem, but because they just want to do right by them.
So where can I watch this now? Is it on YouTube?
Definitely, it's on YouTube. It's on my YouTube channel, which is called Your Best Life with Eziaha.
Okay, Your Best Life with Eziaha.
Yes.
Amazing. And the title of the documentary is Save Our Children.
Save Our Children.
Our Children.
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, there is a book that comes with it that's about to be launched. You should let us know when this happens.
Yes.
It's coming out soon. So, yes, what you find in the documentary, it's been put on paper as well.
Yes.
And there's a foreword by Australia's leading allergy health coach as well, Sharon Shelby.
Yes.
Amazing stuff.
Yes.
Well done, and thank you for coming to talk to us today.
Thank you.
Now, the truth is we have sort of, what's that term, delegated the responsibility of our children's health to so many other individuals apart from ourselves. this Children's Day, as you look at those happy, lovely kids in your home and in your community, maybe find them a very healthy snack or healthy meal today. And let's maybe make some adjustments. Thank you so much, Isiaha.
Thank you so much, Titi, for having me.